everyone, I'm Nitahone, and it is Thursday, and that means it's time for another draft video. We're doing more Guilds of Ravnica. This will probably be the last time we do it for a while, because I think the next 3 weeks I'm going to be doing Ultimate Masters instead while it's on Magic Online. Then we'll probably come back to Guilds of Ravnica for like a week or two, and then it'll be limited review week for Ravnica Allegiance. Before this draft fires, I want to remind you guys that my videos are sponsored by Card Kingdom. You can go to cardkingdom.com to buy Guilds of Ravnica product, Ultimate Masters product, whatever. So I'll see you guys when this draft fires. All right, well, this pack is a pretty strong one, with Bounty of Might and Conclave Tribunal being at the top of the list. Bounty of Might can produce some insane blowouts. I mean, it can single-handedly win you games. Conclave Tribunal is an excellent removal spell. I do think green is probably the worst color in this set, but Bounty of Might is quite powerful. I think, you know, if these two colors were of equal strength, Bounty of Might is definitely the better card, but they're just not. They're just not of equal strength. Granted, you know, I think I still take the Bounty and see if we can make that work. The nice thing about the Tribunal is you can splash it, but I think we still want Bounty of Might. Okay. I've had such bad times with Selesnya, but I think I'm about to do it to myself again. Because Conclave Cavalier is excellent. Woodshaper, Iron Beetle, if those come back, either of those come back, I think I'm happy. There's not anything particularly close to the Cavalier in this pack. Risk Factor can be fun, but it's definitely the Cavalier. Sometimes Selesnya is so open you can make a ridiculous deck, and I've done that, but I still have yet to get a trophy with it. I think I've done more... I've lost more with it than won with it even. Okay, so this pack's not especially exciting. You know, this can be good. I think it's better in the Boros deck, though. I think for what we're doing, we probably want Iron Shell Beetle. I just like the card a lot. I think it's better than most of the cards in this pack. I mean, Capture Sphere is probably the best card in this pack. The awkward thing is... you know, there's not a blue-white deck or a blue-green deck in this format, really. You could do it, I guess, but you're not going to have as much synergy or support. So I could take something like Capture Sphere and maybe just not play green-white at all, but I think taking the Beetle's probably the right thing here. I mean, the first two cards we have in green are really strong, so I'm motivated to try to make it work. Okay, that's a pretty late Sunhome Stalwart and a pretty late Direct Current. I think I want the Stalwart because we're already in white. It's a great card. You know, it's a really good attacker early. Its mentoring is excellent. So yeah, it's definitely what we take here. Hypothesis and Direct Current are good too, but I think we're trying Selesnya again. We need to get more rares to really make it work, I feel like. But if we can get another Conclave Cavalier and like one other good Selesnya rare, it's probably good. The problem with this deck that makes it less than stellar, and I do think, you know, now that we're pretty deep into this format, I do think it's the weakest color pair. Worse than Golgari. The problem with it is you can power out these awesome creatures with Convoke, right? But every color has ways to punish you for that. Blue has counter spells that are playable, and every other color has efficient removal that makes you lose so much tempo when you do it. And that is a pain. So this is an interesting pack. We've got Watcher in the Mist, which is quite good. Making me kind of wish I'd taken that Capture Sphere. Dimir, Guildmage, House Guildmage, I guess is what it's called, is also really good. What we could take for ourselves is Pitiless Gorgon, but it's not so good that, I think maybe taking a flyer on something like Watcher in the Mist is maybe worth it. Nah. I'm just going to keep pushing green-white until someone tells me no, which the packs, they may tell me no soon. So, you know, but I think 3 of the cards we've taken so far are what I would say are excellent cards. Cards you're excited to have in your deck. Cards that can play a major role in winning you a game. And the other 2 are perfectly playable. Iron Shell Beetle and Pitiless Gorgon, that is. Okay, so weird stuff's happening, huh? In terms of what we're getting past and what we're not. Demotion is better in a really aggressive deck. Pack's Favor is an okay combat trick. The Electromancer is nice. Is it that open? Is it and Dimir that open? So I don't like either Pack's Favor or Demotion very much in this deck. I think this time we are going to take a blue-red card and see what happens, because it's way better than everything in this pack. So let's see what happens. Golgari Findbroker is interesting. Moving into Golgari is definitely a more realistic pivot than whatever this is. And Findbroker is really powerful. It's as good as the Cavalier, I think. So we're sort of replacing that. Wouldn't mind a Necrolisk either, but I do think we take this. Our other options are a sideboard card and an unplayable card or a Guildgate. So I think we take the Findbroker. It's clear that, I think white is getting cut. And we really only have 2 white cards, right? So this could be a Golgari deck. The thing that Golgari decks have going for it that the Selesnya decks don't is that they can grind out wins more effectively with their graveyard synergy. They can last longer, I've found. They are hurt by the fact that most of the good cards with Undergrowth are at higher rarity, though. Other than Rhizome Lurcher, Okay, Undercity Uprising's alright. Vigor Sporeworm and Hitchclaw Recluse are more interesting to me, though. Vigor Sporeworm is a decent Undergrowth payoff at a lower rarity. It's not great, but it is decent. If I can slam a bunch of Selesnya Guildgates, maybe I can play my Cavalier. So, the Recluse is usually pretty important for this deck because you don't have any way to stop flyers otherwise. So I think I am going to take it here over the Worm. I think I'll see more Vigor Spore Worms. Ooh, that's a great sign. That's definitely what we take. So this is one of the very few ways in the set to load up your graveyard and help make Undergrowth way better than it is if you don't have Glowspore Shamans. But it coming back is a great sign that black-green is plenty open. I think the ship has sailed on these 3 cards. Well, there's a Wood Shaper. I could take it because it's a better card than Wary Okapi, but right now it feels like what we got going with Golgari is just going to be better. So I think I just take the Okapi, which may get cut. Isn't very exciting. But if you end up with the good cards with Undergrowth, if you just trade in the early game and then get some powerful Undergrowth trigger to make it all go away, that's pretty great. So, we'll see what happens. I have had more considerable success actually with Golgari. I don't know if I've ever done worse than 2-1 with Golgari. Whereas Selesnya is like... Okay, so Undercity Uprising. It's getting interesting. Ceratok is nice too. This card has really underwhelmed. Giving your whole team Death Touch is nice, and Prey Upon is nice, but both for 4 mana is kind of steep. I think I will take it here. I think cutting Golgari doesn't hurt. So is Pitiless Gorgon better than Generous Stray? Probably, maybe. The thing I like about Generous Stray is you can sack it to stuff later and it doesn't feel bad, but the Pitiless Gorgon's ability to trade with anything is pretty nice. So I think I like the Gorgon a little better than the Stray. Yeah, Random Child of Night. Golgari's definitely more open than Selesnya. I doubt we want Wand of Vertebrae. We would have to end up with like 1,000 cards. No, we'd have to end up with like 10 cards with Undergrowth that are actually worth playing to play Wand of Vertebrae, and I don't think that's going to happen. Okay, Connive and Concoct is the kind of thing we can splash, and we can cast the Connive half already. Conclave Tribunal's here too. Wouldn't mind Foragers or Iron Shell Beetle Wheeling. Barrier Bones is okay too. I think we do take Connive Concoct and try to look to splash. Yeah, it's worth noting we don't have any mono black cards yet either. So it's kind of a weird thing we have going on. But I think we take it, Connive and Concoct. We're definitely some sort of green deck, I can tell you that. But there's no reason, Conclave Tribunal's good, but it's not good enough to throw away all the good black cards we have right now. Okay, probably dead weight. Dowser of Lights comes back, I'll be happy. Another Foragers, at least one of those is probably going to wheel. But I think we take a dead weight here. Great removal, early removal spell. Okay, so we've got Pilfering Imp, which is nice, but there's also a Severed Strands, which works nicely with the, graveyardy strategy. It can kill anything. You do have to give something up, but if it's like your Glowspore Shaman or Iron Shell Beetle that have already given you value, it doesn't hurt too much. The Imp is nice. Going after your opponent's hand is good. It puts itself in the graveyard. And, as of now, we don't really have a real graveyard payoff other than Findbroker. I guess Concoct to a lesser extent is actually one if we can splash it. It seems likely I get more Severed Strands. Maybe more than that I get another Pilfering Imp, because there's not that many decks that want this. And I think it is better than the Dissident. Yeah, I'll take the Imp. Ooh, double Crawl Harpooner. Yeah, I think that's what we take. You know, Dowser of Lights is nice. An okay finisher and all. And maybe we're going to need one of those at some point, but I think I take the Harpooner here. It's just really good. It has Undergrowth, but it's good whether you get crazy things going with Undergrowth or not. 2 mana, 3/2 with Reach is just playable. There's a Rhizome Lurcher. I think we probably snag one of those now. Burglar Rat's a nice card for this deck, but we need to make sure we have ways to get paid off for the graveyard stuff we already have going on, like our Glowspore Shaman and Pilfering Imp and Concoct. So, and this is the good common win condition for the deck. It's really the only one. Vigor Spore Worm is sort of okay, but Rhizome Lurcher is better. Look at our foil cards. Be cool if that other Harpooner wheels, but doubt that happens. He's definitely a weird card. Makes me wonder if when they made him... Because, like, he dies when he kills almost anything. And certainly anything that he needs to pump his power really high for with Undergrowth, it's going to kill him, right? So it's such a weird design. It makes me wonder if originally he did all of that if you had enough, if you had a certain number of Undergrowth or something. I don't know. I'd probably take another Lurcher here over an Undercity Uprising, a Dissident, or a Bats. Yeah. I think that's the right thing to do. So we still haven't picked up Fixing. Would I just play this for the Connive half? If that's what all I could do 100% of the time. I don't know if I would mainboard it. Probably sideboard it. Wouldn't mind the Rampaging Monument. I mean, we're already at 8 gold cards. The Verdant Bloom or whatever. Not Verdant Bloom, that's a different card. But the one that gets you back 3... Verdant Rebirth, I think. Gets you back 3 cards from your graveyard that are gold. Also would be very good. Probably the best Golgari deck I ever built was the one that had multiple payoffs for playing gold stuff. Including the land and things. Okay, so I like Spinal Centipede a reasonable amount, and I think I like it more than the Dissident or Dowser of Lights. We have 2 Rhizome Lurchers now, so, you know, we have win conditions. We're not desperate. Both of these are fine, but the Centipede is just essentially strictly better than the Okapi, and the Dissident is fine. But I like the counter thing. You know, he can trade all right. Ooh, Crawl Swarm. Citywide Bust. So... definitely take Crawl Swarm. It is hard to give up another Severed Strands. We're going to have to pick up at least one, I think. But this is a great win condition. Comes back from your graveyard if you needed to. I like it a lot. More removal would be good. That's one thing we can definitely use. That might be why we have to mainboard the Connive, because it'll be one of our only removal spells. We do have Undercity Uprising, but... could be good with stuff like Hitchclaw Recluse. That's about it, though. Our other creatures aren't great with it. I mean, it can essentially be a Severed Strands that doesn't gain you life and gives the rest of your team Death Touch, and that costs twice as much. It's a lot of talking, I know, a lot of qualifications, but that's kind of what it is a lot of the time. You sack a creature and you kill theirs. So Foragers is a nice little late game thing that has Undergrowth that can help you sort of stabilize. But I do like Iron Shell Beetle. I think Iron Shell Beetle is just going to be better most of the time. I mean, I'd be happy to have 1 Crawl Foragers in this deck, but yeah, there's one. See? Now we'll get it. I think we'd rather have it than the Vine. Okay, Ceratok versus Dissident. We have plenty of 4s, and they're all better. Well, mostly. But I think I'd like another 2. One with an activated ability is pretty decent. So, like in an ideal world, we probably don't play the Okapi. Probably don't play the Child of Night. Not sure we play this. Depends on what happens with our mana. We're late in the pack. We may pick up some random guild gates. Maybe not. I think we take Generous Straight. Urban Utopia can fix, but it's so bad at it. You know, it doesn't help you ramp. It does replace itself, but it's just not the kind of fixing that I want. Come here, kitty cat. Go to your cat tree thing. This cat has so many cat trees in this house. You can see one behind me. There's one next to me. There's like a 5.5 foot one in our living room. And she's still not happy. So take an Undercity Uprising here. Yeah, random Wario copy because it's so good. All right, let's get Izoni. Let's get that going. Then you have, that's the best undergrowth payoff there is, you know. So that'd be cool. That would be cool. What else do we want? I don't know. Ooh. We don't have any Surveil. If we did, Blood Operative would be great. But with 0 Surveil, I don't think I can do it. Do we have like one random card with Surveil? We don't have enough Surveil. Oh, we have the Concoct half of Connive Concoct that we don't even know we're playing. I think I'd rather just have Dead Weight. It is a great removal spell. We've already got one. We need more removal, more than we need win conditions, I think. You know, if it was a Zoni, that would be one thing. You know, maybe this Dowser wields. I've said that several times and then haven't taken any Dowsers, but we're not desperate for Dowsers. Ooh, man, this pack is difficult. Definitely beat with Beast Whisper, though. I guess it's not that difficult. Necrotic Wound is going to be nice in our deck. Burglar Rat's a nice card. Wouldn't mind another Recluse, but Beast Whisper is a powerhouse. It just draws you a billion cards, and that's always good. So, man, Dawn of Hope is really good. Conclave Tribunal is really good. We have no guild gates. Flower Flourish, if we were going to splash white for some reason, would be good. You know, it's not worth it, though. Probably just take a Golgari guild gate here. Like, do I need another random 2-drop? Is it an upgrade over any of this stuff? I don't really think it is. These white cards are strong, but that doesn't help us. So yeah, I think we just take the card that makes our mana a little better. Okay, so here's a Dimir Guildgate, which helps with the Connive Concoct situation. Doesn't hurt. Grappling Sundew is bad. Urban Utopia is bad. Burglar Rat and Siege Worm are both fine. But I think maybe playing the Guildgate and being able to confidently play Connive Concoct is going to pay us off more than any of the other options here. Yeah, I think it does. I think it does. Okay, here's a Severed Strands. I think this is the win. We take it, and we do. We're going to have some trimming to do, but usually a good problem to have, you know. I wouldn't mind another Dimir Guildgate. Throwing that out there. Magic World. One is a little suspect, but the fact that we'll almost always be able to cast the Connive half makes it safe. So what would be the next things to get cut, depending on how these next packs go? I think probably Undercity Uprising. Wouldn't mind that Necrotic Wound coming back to us. That card's good when you can actually load your graveyard, and I think our deck can do it reasonably well. We don't have anything super exciting to reanimate. I mean, I guess the dream is like getting back a Fine Broker or a huge Lurcher or this to gain us life. The rest isn't so exciting. But, you know, when it's attached to a card that can steal an opponent's creature, it's probably worth it. Deck looks pretty strong. I mean, Beast Whisper and Bounty of Might are both cards that can take over games. Okay, there's another Dimir Guildgate here. However, there's also an Iron Shell Beetle, another Severed Strands, and less exciting, a Bartizan Bats, which is a flyer, and we've only got one of those right now. I almost feel like taking the Guildgate's going to be better, though. Like, Connive Concoct is good enough that sort of locking it in and feeling like we can do it is worth more than playing a third Iron Shell Beetle, a first erstwhile Trooper who's not particularly awesome. I mean, he's okay. And a Severed Strands. I think I'd rather have the Guild Gate. It's done. Okay, so this has Undergrowth, but it's so bad. It's like one of the reasons there's so many uncommon Undergrowth cards that are bad in this set. I could have gotten another Guild Gate. But I think we're just going to take a 2-drop here. Probably the Dissident over the Child of Night. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Don't think we need a third one of those. I think we take another Foragers. Probably starts in the sideboard. We may not even play the one we have in our main board. Like, we got to cut some stuff. Although right now I guess we don't need to. All right, here we are going to take an Erstwhile Trooper. Three Guild Gates. Pretty good considering we had none at the beginning of this pack. Yeah, I guess I'll take another one of these. Yeah, this may just be our deck. Oh, we do have to cut one thing since we put this in. Might just be the Trooper. Not particularly impressed with it. I mean, it usually gets in for a bit of damage, but the effect, like, yeah, it's good against people who have lots of X3s because you can threaten to activate it and just run over their creature. But the fact that you have to discard a creature, which, yes, I get it. It's supposed to have some minor synergy with Undergrowth, but, you know, how much... We didn't end up getting a Vigor Spore Worm in the end. That's kind of sad. But the minor synergy with Undergrowth isn't really worth it most of the time. We do have 3 ways of putting a counter on it, which does make it a little better, but look at these. Oh, probably, I guess we don't have any reliable way to side it in, but I guess it's more likely than Urban Utopia to help us. Wow. I'd rather have an Iron Shell Beetle for sure than an Erstwhile Trooper. Okay. Well, some trimming to do, certainly. Got to cut 2 cards. So I think Erstwhile Lurcher, Trooper, whatever, is one of them. Might be a Dissident. The other one, the question is whether the Beetle or the Dissident is better. I think the Beetle's usually better. They both have nice late game value. The Dissident might have slightly more, but it's obviously costs a lot of mana. It could also be the Recluse, but I think having something that can stop... I mean, I could just side it in against someone with a lot of flyers, but having something that can block well early... Yeah, I think we stick with the Beetles. And bring in our Guild Gates. Would have been nice to get the card that can search for Guild Gates. The creature, not the spell. We don't need any islands. No, I think 2 Guild Gates is plenty. So we've already got... that's 9 black sources and 8 green sources. That's pretty reasonable, I think. Do I want to flip that? We do have 2 double greens. That's double of either. So we only have 2 double greens, 3 double greens, and 1 double black. So that's probably right. 9, 8. Yeah, I'll stick with it. Except I need to add another land, because why didn't Magic Online want to add another land? Usually it doesn't want to add one now either, which is weird. But I think we do want 17. So back to counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 green sources, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I guess going 9, 9 is probably best. All right. Looks like our deck looks like a fun one. I'll see you guys in the first match. Right, we are in our first match, and yeah, I think we keep this hand. We have a 2-drop. Can cast Connive if we get there, if we need to. This is where I hope they play like a Rock Charger. That's when you can get all kinds of value out of your Crawl Harpooner. Nope. I think we still play him, though. Value or not. Don't think I really want to trade it for a Goblin Locksmith, but that could change. Yeah, Boros can be really, really scary and really fast. Would I have kept this hand if I knew for sure I was up against Boros? Maybe not. Connive will probably be pretty good against them, though. So, like, you know, on turn 4, we have a removal spell that will give us a creature, essentially. So, you know, sometimes a problem with 4-mana removal against a fast deck. What? He put Luminous Bonds on his own creature. Okay, that happens. Guess we don't need to keep talking about Connive. I guess I still can. Frequently, the reason like a 4-mana sorcery speed removal spell wouldn't be good is because you don't add to the board at all. But with a card like Connive, you do. So, you know, even just stealing that Locksmith on turn 4 would have been pretty good. So that's kind of crazy that they... I mean, it was pretty bad what they did. They essentially time-walked themselves and made their creature unable to attack or block. But the game wasn't exactly over. Okay, probably another keep. Yeah, let's do it. So, we have Connive again, ready to go on turn 4. Iron Shell Beetle on turn 3. Iron Shell Beetle on turn 2 and 3 is what I'm trying to say here. Okay, Hitchclaw Recluse might come down instead. But for now, I'm going to Iron Shell Beetle here. Okay, that's going to be nice to steal. And in the meantime, I can play my Hitchclaw Recluse. I guess I attack, actually. Let's do it. And then we'll play Hitchclaw Recluse. Who, you know, if they want to use a trick to, like, break through, I'm kind of okay with. If they want to put Luminous Bonds on it, pretty okay with that, too. You know? Okay. Oh, okay. I probably steal that now, right? It's probably our best choice. It's definitely our best choice. Yeah. Come on down. Connive on Parhelion Patrol. Thank you. Do I attack now? Is it worth trading? Yeah, probably. And they scooped again. Somebody has some anger issues, you know, rage quitting. I mean, I don't know what they had in their hand, but again, this game, even to a lesser extent, did we have it in the bag. Now, we were probably going to deadweight the Legionnaire next turn, but all right, well, win is a win. I'll see you guys in the next match. All right, this hand looks like a keep to me for our second match. A couple Iron Shell Beetles and a Glowspore Shaman. Works for me. Have our blue mana too, should that come up. So, yeah. What shall we do? Kind of depends. I mean, it usually does, right, on what my opponent does. But if they're having a slow start, Glowspore Shaman's going to do a little more work. But if they're having a more normal start, it's not really going to do much. I mean, it does have the ability to trade up and stuff later. But maybe playing the Beetles is better. I mean, I can also play the Shaman and then Beetle it twice up to like a 5/3, which is not a bad plan. Yeah, I mean, maybe that is what I should do. Wow. Concoct likes us, and I'm okay with that. So we'll play this Forest. That much is clear. I think I'm going to play the Shaman. I'm going to do it. See what we mill. Both are dead weights, and that would be fun. So do we want that? I don't think we do. Missing out on Spinal Centipede and Pitiless Gorgon is not a huge deal. Also gets our Undergrowth to 2 already. But I don't think we need that swamp. We're just going to leave it and end our turn. If you get like a Zoni, like probably the best Golgari deck I had was one that had like 2 Glowspore Shamans and a Zoni and a Verdant Rebirth and stuff like that. Like it was so graveyard heavy. It was awesome. So, you know, that's kind of the dream. Okay. Probably going to end up stealing the Beetle, I guess. I think I play the Iron Shell Beetle and pump the Shaman. That way I can block Erstwhile Trooper and make them discard a card. Like, you know, I'd be pretty okay with that 2-for-1. I could just attack instead, too, but they don't have to discard a card. They don't have to discard a card either way. What am I talking about? Silly. Guess maybe just pumping the Beetle would have been better. But I am okay with the trade, I guess, is what I'm saying. For the Erstwhile Trooper. So I'll just end the turn. But I probably should have just put it on the Beetle because, well, no, then they wouldn't be able to. Then they would be able to just discard a card. Okay, so we're gonna lose Dimir Guildgate. All right, so, yeah, I think we just go for this. Kind of a waste of my counter, admittedly, but hey. So I could continue to hold on to mana for Concoct. I mean, I'm going to have the blue for it, but I feel like just stealing Iron Shell Beetle here is going to be way better in most cases. So I think that's what I do. So we're going to connive and steal their Beetle. All right, we have an extra Beetle now. I think we attack with our other Beetle. Yeah, trade works for us too. Hopefully they don't have a Zoni. That's like the nightmare scenario here, that they have a way better undergrowth payoff than we do, you know? We don't have the like incredibly good ones. We just have a few decent ones. Wow, all the Iron Shell Beetles. Do I just like go all in on one of them? Maybe. Well, I think I'm going to play one at least and see what our opponent does here. So we have got all 3 of our own Iron Shell Beetles, and we stole our opponent's, because why not? Going all in on one is a little risky against a deck that could have a bunch of removal, but at the same time, yeah, it's probably worth it. Beetles everywhere. And, you know, it can rumble with a lot of creatures, potentially, as a 4/4. Damn it. This is what we were like, maybe we don't want to do it. We're gonna suffer the wrath. Yeah. All right. Well, we still have 2 Iron Shell Beetles. Look out for us and our Beetles, who are 1/1s. Don't tell me they have Mephitic Vapors. That would be a joy. Oh, good. Fine Broker, get back freaking status or statue. Yeah, that's pretty good. What? You're going to get back Burglar Rat? Are you for real? Guess you are. Well, we know they're going to make us discard a card. Ah. So do we hold on to Severed Strands so we can keep Bounty of Might in our hand, or do we Severed Strands Golgari Find Broker? There's also a chance they have 2 rats, and that's the reason they decided to do what they did, to just nuke the rest of our hand. Man, I wish I had the mana for Bounty of Might right now. What to do? Kill Golgari Finebroker and definitely lose Bounty of Might. Or not kill it and have to make a difficult decision between a removal spell and one of the stronger cards in our deck that we can't actually cast right now. Yeah. That is a good question. I think I Severed Strand's the thing. I mean, yeah, that's what we're gonna do. I mean, there's a legitimate chance that that could have led them to victory, essentially. Yeah, I'm probably going to draw a land off the top of our library and wish we kept Bounty of Might, but maybe they do just have 2 rats, and it didn't matter. Yeah. Fine. Take away my Bounty of Might. I have a lot of cards in my graveyard. Nope, just 1 rat. Although, I guess they wouldn't have cast the other one even if they had another one. Okay, so I think I just attack. We're both going to be able to use our graveyard as a resource here because of Undergrowth. But mine is way, way fuller, so... And I'm okay with that. So I'll play the Recluse. Wouldn't mind my Finebroker. I have one, right? I think so. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's big. Where's ours? This is not when we want to draw a land. Okay, that's pretty nice here. Makes the race go in our favor pretty much. They definitely drew the scarier Undergrowth card, but gaining a bunch of life here. How much do we gain exactly? I was too lazy to count. It's a lot. 6. So we have Undergrowth of 6 right now. So I think I just take 6, go back down to 19 here. Okay, so I attack with the Foragers here for sure and see what happens. Damn. Okay. They have 2 of those. That's when you know your Golgari deck's going to be good. Early in the format, I had a few decks that had multiple status statues because people just weren't drafting Golgari, I guess. I don't know. So this isn't good. This Rhizome Lurcher is going to continue to beat us down. You know, we can attack pretty hard too, but not as hard as they can. And, yeah. Okay, there's their Glowspore Shaman. God, they have Vivid Revival. That's what I meant by Verdant Rebirth earlier. I'm glad it's in their graveyard. Okay, that's good, but, like, doesn't do much right now. It could dig us out of the game, though, in the future. I think I gotta leave Crawl Swarm back to block, like... no, I don't. What's it gonna block? Yeah, okay. So we're gonna attack for 4. If it could trade for the Rhizome Lurcher, I'd think about it, but it can't. So we're just going to have to count on... I'm glad I did go with Severed Strands, by the way, because we haven't hit that 6th land for Bounty of Might at all, and that would have been even more frustrating than what we ended up doing. So I'm taking 6 to the face again, going to 7. Hopefully they don't have the freaking giant in their hand who just kills us. There's a good chance they do. Here it is. No? They're just gaining a bunch of life, which is also not good for us. Hey, there's our Rhizome Lurcher. How about that? Okay, well, we're going to play ours. This could help us stabilize for sure. Ooh, and Deadweight's nice too. Ours is a 9/9. I'm going to deadweight the Glowspore Shaman. Okay. They're out of stuff, and we get to draw a bunch of cards anytime we play anything, so we may dig our way out of this. Not anytime we draw anything, but anytime we draw a creature. Drawing deadweight there was pretty ideal. Not many things in our deck we could have cast. Land. You drew a land. No, I said you drew a land. Listen to me here. Trust me. Okay. Interesting. I think I hold off on playing stuff. Probably. And just attack and see what happens. Attack in the air, that is. I don't think we want to attack on the ground right now. I was worried we'd be too late, but I think Beast Whisperer has a legit shot at digging us out of the game now, so that's good. Alright, so then we play Pitiless Gorgon. Beast Whisperer is nasty. Oh, no, our other Rhizome Lurcher. Can't cast it yet, but that'll come in handy. Okay, Crawl Swarm. Keep it up, man. We have a lot of the same cards, which isn't too much of a surprise, right? I mean, both of us are Golgari. Okay, so attack with the Swarm again. Drop them to 9. Maybe. I bet they're wishing they had a Hitchclaw Recluse right about now. And I'm going to play this land first so I can tap my mana a little better. Yeah, so Rhizome Lurcher number 2. There's another deadweight. Yeah, I think we go ahead and use it on Pitiless Gorgon, which should make it a lot easier for us to attack this next turn. Although, we don't have that many creatures who are actually good at attacking. So maybe it's still not worth it. But, you know, wiping stuff off their board is definitely worth it. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess it actually makes Pitiless Gorgon's attack doable. Everyone else's is still bad, but we have 2 Rhizome Lurchers, Pitiless Gorgon, and Crawl Swarm. I can play the Harpooner first to draw the card. And yeah, that doesn't hurt because maybe we draw something that changes our minds about something. Okay, we don't. He's going to be a big crawl Harpooner, but he doesn't have anything to hit, so. No. He's a 10-2. Let's give him haste. Okay, so I think this attack is worth it. Even if things go wrong, it's not like we don't have our defenses up, you know? So everybody get in there. We can even get back our Crawl Swarm if we hold on to this forest, which I think is probably what we do. Okay, so we kill their Rhizome Lurcher. Do they have a trick? Doesn't look like it. All right, they go to 3. We hold on to this land, and we end our turn. Thank you, Beast Whisperer. I think you may have won us this one. Okay, well, we're gonna block just to, yeah, that's probably okay. We'll block just to be safe. Could be a trick, you know, and that would be bad, obviously enough. What just happened? Severed Strands, they go up to 7. What did they kill, though? Oh, our Rhizome Lurcher. Thank you, Beast Whisperer, for grinding that one out. It's my kind of victory. Do Okapis or Dissidents or Foragers seem any better here? I don't think so. Didn't seem like they had any flyers, but, you know, I think we probably leave the one recluse in. Don't think we need something like Erstwhile Trooper. Yeah, I mean, I don't think we change anything. But yeah, when we drew that Beast Whisperer and we were like about to get crushed, I did not think we'd have the time, but we ended up. I drew really well. You know, there was definitely some luck there. Finally hitting a Rhizome Lurcher, like first thing, is probably what made the biggest difference. Like that gave us the extra time so that the Whisperer could win us the game because we were just getting destroyed by their Lurcher. But in the end, you know, ours was bigger, and then we drew another one. So yeah, we did draw really well. The Connive was pretty nice early. And I am really glad we used Severed Strands when we did, because if I decided to hedge and, like, you know, I'm going to draw a 6th land, I want to keep Bounty of Might, so I'm not going to cast Severed Strands, that would have been really frustrating. And might have lost us the game. I mean, they would have had a 3-4 in play in addition to everything else that was beating us down. So thank God for that. So as I think about it, I think this may actually be the last Guilds of Ravnica draft I do, which some of you, I gather, are happy about. I'm kind of indifferent about it. It's a fun format. It's not like a best ever format or anything. It's not like it's Dominaria, you know, but it was pretty great. So I'll miss it a little. So this is a slow hand, but our opponent isn't exactly a fast deck, and we're on the draw. I think it's keepable. We do have 2 of the more powerful cards in our deck in Bounty of Might and Beast Whisperer. So, you know, drawing some 2-drops and or lands either way would be good. Man, that Connive Concoct is our best friend so far. We've gotten it. Even those 2 games where our opponent scooped on like turn 3, we cast it. In fact, one of the times they scooped, it was because of Connive. So it's pretty crazy. So Selesnya, huh? They're splashing. Yeah, this time we don't have something early to play. But we do have our Recluse next turn, so it's not like we're going to get wrecked by a beetle, you know? And we also now have mana for Connive. And Beast Whisperer, whichever we decide to do first. It'll depend on what they do, what they play, as it always does, you know? Don't play anything. Just be done. Okay, I like that. I like it. Okay. We'll play the Swamp, and then we'll play our Hitchclaw Recluse. I just hope they don't have a Zoni. You know, that's like the ultimate payoff for for this deck. You know, Rhizome Lurcher's all right, but it's not a Zoni. So do I block here? I think I do. If I trade this for a trick, I'm kind of okay with it. And if they just bounce off each other, I'm really okay with it. But trading it for a trick seems fine. Doesn't seem like they're going to have flyers that kill us. Didn't in the last game anyway. Yeah, it looks like they got something. Ooh. Okay, for a second I thought it got a counter, which would have been a lot more annoying because of Connive. But it does not look like they get the counter. So do I play Beast Whisperer here? I'm actually leaning towards using Connive because why? Well, because like even if I play Beast Whisperer here, I may not be able to play a creature next turn, and I want to be able to set that up reliably so that I am coming out ahead. Like, you know, if I draw 1 card off of it, I'm in pretty good shape. But if he just kills it immediately, you know, that's not the worst ever, but it's not great shape, especially if I can just use Connive here, which I think is what I should do. The Guild Gate is the reason I can't guarantee I can play a creature, but I have to play an untapped land to play either of these. So, yeah. So next turn I will be able to guarantee, like if I play Beast Whisperer, Dimir, Guild Gate, the turn after, I'll be able to do it. Oh, no, I won't. What am I talking about? Yes. No, yeah, I will. Yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and try to steal this guy. Cast Connive. Yeah, I mean, 4 mana, destroy target creature with power 2 or less, put a copy of it in play is pretty powerful. I think people really underestimate that effect because it's so narrow. Yeah, sure, it's not mind control exactly, but it's close enough. And the other half is relevant enough that, man, that would have been fun to steal. But anyway, the other half is relevant enough that I kind of like it. Okay, so, yeah, I think we attack with our beetle here. Like, because we're not... Yeah, if they want to trade beetle for shade, although the bad news is this goes into their graveyard. I was thinking it would go into mine, so they could up their undergrowth by 2 there. Obviously, probably not worth it, but okay. So yeah, we're gonna play our Whisperer now and see if he can survive to lead us to victory like he did last time. If he survives, I mean, we're in pretty great shape, obviously enough. Yeah, we're just taking however much they want the shade to hit us for. 4, whatever. We'll take it. I was going to say, honestly, if they tap their mana to pump it, I'm ecstatic. Because it would mean that they don't have anything else to do. Okay, looks like Beast Whisperer is going to survive. Beautiful. Okay. All right, so we are going to get to draw the 1 card, I think. Maybe just to be safe, I should do it now. But I'm not attacking with my Beast Whisperer. I think we get in there with the beetle here. Again. There's like no way they block. Wow, they do block. They must have Rhizome Lurcher, huh? I am pretty okay with that. And so our Rhizome Lurcher will only be a 3/3 right now, and I think I'd rather play the creature that also, was their doom last game, which is Crawl Swarm, who draws us a card. Okay. And yeah, we'll play this land into our turn. So come out ahead on Beast Whisperer, no matter how. It's a 2-for-1 now. If we draw anything else off of it, it's awesome. Yeah, I'm going to take that. Thank you. Do I need to Severed Strands, whatever this is? Oh, poop. Well, they have to wait a turn to kill our Beast Whisperer, so we do get to draw a few more cards off of it before they kill it. Especially because we have a ton of mana right now. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we can play both Lurcher and Gorgon. I think it's probably worth it, even though the Lurcher is only going to be a 3. The wider we go and we have Bounty of Might, the better. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We can hit them for 15 now. I was making sure we didn't have lethal because sometimes you just have lethal with Bounty of Might when your opponent's tapped out, but we don't. But we probably will be pretty close in the future. So, let's play our Gorgon. Gorgon. Okay, Iron Shell Beetle. Well, maybe I play the beetle now. Make this a 5/2 up the clock. Seems pretty good. Also, we could Severed Strands their Veiled Shade. I probably don't at this point, but I could. So yeah, we'll play our beetle. Draw another card. So we've gotten 3 cards out of our Beast Whisperer. We have more than made up for the fact that it's about to eat a removal spell. That removal spell also costs 4, which is no small amount. We haven't seen what they're splashing white for, by the way, which does scare me a bit. So we're going to beef you up, buddy. We also get to get in for 7 here, incidentally. So yeah, the Beast Whisperer is going to attack because why not? So we'll attack with both of these. Dropping them to 11, which means Bounty of Might is getting closer and closer to lethal. Play the Swamp and, yeah, end our turn there. I would assume he's going to kill the Whisperer, but I guess there's a chance they take this out, but I think that's the wrong choice. I mean, it is what's pressuring them more directly. Oh. I see. Okay. You can't do both now. which is nice. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. So no, not quite. If this had 2 power, I could get in for lethal here no matter what. Yeah, attack with your shade. Then I can get in for lethal no matter what. Bring it over here. Aw. I mean, obviously, I'm going to sacrifice my Crawl Swarm now with Severed Strands. 3, 4, 5, 7 mana is what we have. I can't believe they left our Whisperer in play. I kind of forgot that that's what happened because it seems so wrong. So we can do, like, if one of these gets through, we would just win the game. If we had the mana to both Severed Strands and Bounty of Might, that's what we would do, but we don't. There's a good chance I can hit Deadweight. They're both still in my deck, so I think I'm going to play a Spinal Centipede here and see what happens. And then we probably Severed Strands this and just attack with Beast Whisperer. But we'll see. So if we can hit Deadweight, we're in really great shape. So we did not. Okay, so let us go ahead and Severed Strands. We'll kill, which of these do we want dead more? I guess the Pitiless Gorgon. And we'll sack our Crawl Swarm, who can actually come back from our graveyard if we so choose later. And then I think we attack with both Beast Whisperer and Pitiless Gorgon, which should put them low enough. Puts them at 9. So now we do have lethal, multiple different ways we attack, especially if they tap out again. We know, again, that they have the removal spell, but it's not going to matter, really. The Beast Whisperer has now drawn us 4 cards. Yeah. He has done his duty, which is win us the game. You know, if he stays in play for a few turns and your deck has a lot of creatures in it, your opponent is going to have a very difficult time winning. Okay. So because I have so much mana up, I'm a little scared to try to use Bounty of Might, and I think going for that Haymaker probably isn't worth it anyway. I think we just attack with both of these, see what happens. I drops them to 5. We have enough going on that just doing this is fine. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I could actually get back Crawl Swarm and just play it again. But I think probably playing our Lurcher is just going to be better right now. Both of them, maybe. Yeah, they're both going to be 6/6s. That's pretty nice. So we'll just play both of them. We're going to hold on to this Swamp in case they play a Rats. So I don't know how they're going to find their way out of this, but there are potentially ways, I guess. That's not one of them. Okay, so we're just going to attack with everything. They've got to use something here to avoid dying, and oh yeah, they're just going to take it. They're just bluffing. All right, so 2-0 we are. This Golgari deck is pretty sweet. I'll see you guys in the finals. Maybe we can get that 5th trophy. I usually like to get 5 in each format at least, and we're 1 short right now, but maybe we can do it here. All right, going into the final match, I think we would like to play first. Okay, we don't have black, but I think that's okay in a hand with 2 2-drops. We'll draw black, right? I mean, that's how it works. If I didn't have 2 2-drops, I wouldn't have kept this, but we do have 10-ish black sources, so there it is. We did it. So we could play the Harpooner because it can hit harder, but I think I may want to hold on to it. The chance that our opponent plays Rock Charger or something is high enough that I'd like to consider waiting. Next turn I can play Harpooner and Pilfering Imp too, so it's not like You know what's funny is I'm not sure. I don't think I've ever played a crawl harpooner in this format. I've recorded 20 drafts ish, and I've played 5 or 6 more that I didn't record. I don't think I've ever actually like killed something and kept my creature alive. Well, that's gonna eat a dead weight, obviously. I have killed things with it, but they were always so big that my harpooner went down too. Okay. Um, yeah, we're just gonna do this and attack, and now we are gonna play our harpooner. We could consider maybe playing our Guildgate, but that doesn't really seem worth it to me. I think we just play another dude here and no. Part of the reason it's good to play creatures is because we have Rhizome Lurcher in our hand, and even if we're just trading, should have used my Crawl Harpooner. Even if we're just trading, it's an okay deal for us, more than it will be for our opponent, who's a Boros deck, and trading is sort of their enemy. I think I just attack with both of my creatures with all that in mind. Yeah. There's something to be said for maybe not attacking with the Harpooner because it can block Healer's Hawk, but so can Pilfering Imp, right? So wow. Yeah, see, they don't want to trade, and it's kind of bad for us. If we could trick them into trading, I'd feel a little better. But I am going to play Pitiless Gorgon, who will be able to trade with anything. So, even if they play something with Mentor or whatever and make it huge. So do I trade with Ornery Goblin with my Pitiless Gorgon? Don't think he's giving me the choice. So no, I don't. So they go up to 14. This is a matchup where more Hitchclaw Recluses would be nice. Okay. Well, I think we attack with Harpooner and Dissident again. We can play our 5th land first to really make blocking the Dissident more of a pain for them, I guess. Yeah. So Harpooner, Dissident, get in there. It's like, will it be worth paying 5? I don't know, maybe. That is a strange block. The Hunted Witness one is strange. Very strange. I thought maybe there'd be a trick. There wasn't. Okay, so do I just play Pilfering Imp, or do I want to play Rhizome Lurcher, who's only going to be a 3/3, but a 3/3 on this board is not bad. I think I hold off on it. I can play both, by the way, but I don't think it's a bad idea to hold on to the Lurcher. I think it's reasonable. Do I trade Pilfering Imp for Healer's Hawk, or do I go after their hand? It's kind of our choice here. These are our options. Okay. Yeah, taking away my reach guy was probably a good call. Okay. Interesting. Where do I put the counter? I think we should go after their hand here more than anything first, and then we can make that decision. Show us what you got, buddy. Street Riot, Luminous Bonds, Blade Instructor. Probably Luminous Bonds. Yeah. And, alright, so we're going to play Iron Shell Beetle. So this can make itself get a lot larger. Yeah, probably where I want to put it. Also enables us to attack this turn more effectively. I guess putting it on the Pitiless Gorgon would have too. If they want to double block my Pitiless Gorgon when they have stuff like Street Riot in their hand, I think I'm okay with it. now that I think about it. Because if we can thin out their board, I mean, by all means. Street Riot doesn't exactly strike fear in me at this part of the game. Not as much. I mean, the Luminous Bonds would have been way worse, especially once we play our Rhizome Lurcher and they're just like Luminous Bonds. So probably Blade Instructor's coming down now. And we know the other card in their hand is Street Riot if that's what they do. If they play something else, we know both the cards in their hand. Lurcher is a 4/4 now, by the way. Okay, so... all right, so... Is it worth attacking with stuff? Probably. Probably everything, honestly. So 3, 5, 6. I can do up to 8. Should they decide their best course of action is to block something? So yeah, let's attack with all creatures. If they block this with the Instructor, I think I do use the ability. But if they block like that, I don't think I use the ability. They go to 8. And then we play Rhizome Lurcher, who will be a 4/4. Do we want to hold on to the... Yeah, I guess we'll hold on to the Guild Gate. Why not? So, Street Riot's still in their hand. We don't know what the other two cards are. They need a 5th land for Street Riot. And it would be kind of scary. This would be a 4/1, this would be a 3/2, and this would be a 2/1 during their turn. So they could hit me for 8. They could hit me for like 10 and go up, but they would only go up to 10 themselves, and I could obviously kill them on the backswing. So, yeah. Uh-oh. That's not great news. That's pretty good news, though. What's not good news is by not playing my Guild Gate, I can't use this ability this turn. That part's not so good. But I think we do put dead weight on a Blade Instructor because they're about to go nuts. So yeah, dead weight on a Blade Instructor. And I think we attack with... probably not the Beetle, I guess, but everything else is going to get in there. The Beetle can still trade for the Instructor, so yeah. So we'll attack with everything. No concoct this. Can I concoct this game? That would have been nice. I love stealing a Sky Knight Legionnaire. So that's 9 damage. They have to block something, and they have to lose something. It's too bad I didn't play that Guild Gate the other turn. Because then they would be in a world of hurt. Instead, they're just like, you know, hurting a little. Not in a world of it. Okay. They go to 3. I guess I'll play this Guild Gate to avoid what just happened. So they are at 3. Street Riot's in their hand. We don't know the other 2 cards. Street Riot is getting progressively less scary because their board is less and less wide. That takes them to 4. Okay. All right. That's pretty great here. So we're going to play Iron Shell Beetle. I think we put it on the Lurcher because now they're not in a situation where they can double block and kill it. And they have to block it. So they probably trade with the Gorgon and just have to eat the Rhizome Lurcher here. They do have Sure Strike potentially. We know they didn't have it in their hand earlier. They have 2 cards. We know one of them could be Sure Strike. It doesn't look like it is, though. And they decided not to block our Gorgon, which I'm okay with. Still Street Riot in their hand, but it's too late now. Yeah, they could hit us for 5 and go to 4, but that's not enough. I haven't actually seen someone play Street Riot, but it was actually pretty scary in their the situation they had. If we hadn't drawn the dead weight, especially, we would have been in trouble. Oh yeah, I've been there where you have to you have to use take heart so that you can survive. So Street Riot's all that's left in their hand. Okay, so we can just win here because we might have just won anyway, huh? No, because they're at 6. So yeah, I think we go Golgari Fine-Broker. Get back. Dead weight. Because they would have blocked this and gone to 2. So yeah. All right. We got there. I do think Crawl Foragers gets a little better against Boros because it does a better job of helping you stabilize than most things do against them. But what do I cut? I don't have like a super high drop that's going to be bad against them. Generous Stray's all right against them. Normally, I would say Pilfering Imp isn't great against them, but kind of worked out there. But maybe that I shouldn't base it on that anecdotal evidence. Yeah, I think I cut the Imp. It doesn't trade with enough of their stuff, and a lot of the times, you know, the ability won't do anything, or it'll do very little. Well, this hand's weird. We have an early deadweight, which is great against them, but we really desperately need a third land, and we are on the draw. So that's tempting. But we have so many expensive... Well, we have 2 expensive cards and a 2-land hand. Yeah, I think we have to send it back. Similar hand. Maybe it's even worse, but I think we have to keep it. Yeah, this is where the deadweight would have been nice. Yeah, I'll play this. So at least we drew a 2-drop, so that's going to help a little. All right, I'm cool with nothing. Also cool with drawing our Connive. So yeah, we play our Iron Shell Beetle. We do have 2 cards in our deck in our hand that have contributed to us winning multiple times in Beast Whisper and Connive. We can even cast Concoct, but I don't know if that'll come up here. When I can just steal like a 2-2. If they make this a 2-2 and I steal it. Wow, they're not having a very exciting start for a Boros deck. So we'll attack, see if it eats Puncturing Blow or whatever. Nope. Just does 2. So yeah, then we play our Dimir Guildgate, and we end our turn, because we don't have anything to do either. But we're not a Boros deck, so it's not quite as much of a problem. I wouldn't mind if they played the 4-mana 2-3 with Mentor, Flying, and Vigilance. We stole that once today. I wouldn't mind stealing it again. Well, that's not what I wanted. It's not what I wanted at all. Okay. It's going to get big, too, chances are. Can't steal it. Don't really want to steal the Healer's Hawk, either. I could play Hitchclaw Recluse, but I think playing Beast Whisper and trying to get going with that is probably our best move here. It'd be funny to like put dead weight on it and then steal it. Might be worth it. We have a decent number of gold cards. Probably not, though. It's probably still not worth it. Street Riot. Okay, this time it is kind of a problem. So we take 6. They go to a lot of life. 23. Okay. Well, this looks pretty nice because we get to draw 2 cards. So I think I play Iron Shell Beetle first. Let's see what happens there. Land. And what do we do? Make this Iron Shell Beetle a 3/3 so that it can trade with that stupid thing. I don't really want to be doing that with my Beast Whisperer, so yeah, I think that's the plan. And then we play Hitchclaw Recluse, who can block the 2/1 on their turn Healer's Hawk. Okay. You got Crawl Foragers too, which is going to do some work for us. So that's good. We haven't seen much removal out of them. We do know they have Luminous Bonds. And that would be annoying right now, but it's not going to kill us. And yeah, it would be nice to gain a few life off our Crawl Foragers that we cited in a second copy of for some reason. Ooh, okay, that's not good. All right, so yes, we're taking 4. God. I'm going to have to steal that Healer's Hawk so they can't pressure me as much and I can gain some life back. Okay. I guess they can't pressure me that much with it already, but stealing it for myself might be worth it. Okay, so we're going to go block, block, and see what happens here. Right now, they get in for 1 trample damage. Trick? I'm guessing they have a trick, like, right? Yeah, probably. Does mean we can't steal their Healer's Hawk, but I think that's probably okay. Oh, take heart again. Okay. Ouchies. So that puts us at exactly 4, which is where our opponent wants us, because then risk factor alone can kill us. So, of course, we draw Crawl Harpooner now. So, I think we got to gain the 1 life off our Crawl Foragers, which is not very exciting. Yeah. We do get to draw cards and stuff. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess playing the Harpooner first is better, because if I hit like Severed Strands, I'd just do that, obviously. Yeah. Yeah, so let's play the Harpooner here. Okay, Fine Broker's not bad, but we still got to gain that the life. Oh. Except I didn't count my mana right, and there's no way for me to gain that life now. Okay. Awesome. What's new? Well, you know, that's how I roll. I just miscount things. I can play my Fine Broker still, which I guess I do. How did I think I had enough mana? Anyway, so yeah, we're going to have to let them draw 3 cards off of the second risk factor. Yeah, this is what we need to do. Black, black, green, green, Fine Broker. Hey, there's a dead weight. Get the beetle back. And, you know, I ain't blocking with either of these guys, so take them down to 24. Okay, so we're going to have to let them draw cards off of risk factor, which is certainly a risk factor. Okay, well, maybe I don't have to do that. Cool. I would really like to get some creatures in my graveyard. I guess Concoct could help me with that. Well, we dead weight the Unicorn. Now I don't have any creatures in my graveyard, by the way. I'm just killing it in this game. We can steal their Unicorn, which is probably better than dead weighting it. But first we're going to play Iron Shell Beetle and see what happens. Yeah. Yeah? Yes. Okay. Iron Shell Beetle. Okay. Drew our card. Obviously. We could weaken this and steal it like we joked about earlier. I think we want to make this a 4/5 because then it is pretty good at its job. All right, so then we will, yeah, that's right. We'll play Connive, and we'll steal their Inspiring Unicorn, which is pretty awesome. It's a good thing to steal. Okay. And I think we attack with Crawl Harpooner. I think that's about it, though. Yeah. I guess getting my Iron Shell Beetles dead wouldn't hurt me too much, but okay, so they're down to 21. I'm hoping they just don't cast Risk Factor again, because that's probably what beats us. But now we have actually a pretty scary board. So we'll see what happens. I have a reasonable amount of hope that we might be able to dig our way out of this. Has Beast Whisperer or Connive Concoct been the MVP? We've been lucky enough to draw both a lot. They both were really good. I think this is the first time I've really gotten to go crazy with this, and I think I got to do it, yeah, in a lot of games. I drafted it once before, but I think I drew like one card off of it the whole draft, which is still pretty good, but thank God for Reach, huh? Making that a 5/4 isn't good news. I don't know why they're not risk factoring. They still can, I guess, if they have a third land. Okay. This dead weight will come in handy. Probably need to stop attacking with my Harpooner, huh? Okay. Well, the Legionnaire is obviously the biggest concern. So, see you later. And now what? The Find Broker is the only guy with reasonable attacks here. Like I was talking about, I could throw my beetles at them just in an attempt to gain more life off my foragers, who I think I'm going to have to play this turn anyway. So that might not be a bad idea. There's a good chance they just take them is the problem. So let's just attack with one beetle and see what happens. And leave everybody else back. Our inability to get any creatures into our graveyard this game is definitely hurting us. Don't need blue mana. I guess I might need more black, though. 5, yeah, so foragers, draw a card, don't gain any life. Ooh. That could be what we need, though, to... That plus an Inspiring Unicorn Alpha Strike seems hard for our opponent to survive when they only have 2 creatures, right? Thank God for Reach, he says again. Do they just feel like they don't have time to cast Risk Factor? They forget that it has Jumpstart? I don't know. It may be true. I think it's true now they don't have time to cast it. But I think earlier they probably did. Like the turn after, when I was like at 4 and couldn't do anything, they had an opening, I think. All right, that is great news. Okay. Okay, so do we try to be a little less aggressive here? So if I attack with everything, everything gets +1/+1 because of the unicorn. These two guys who do 5 on their own probably get blocked, but everything else gets through, which is 3, 7, 9, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16 without Bounty of Might. So I think I go for it. They do have 2 cards in their hand. But I think it's probably still worth it. They're forced into a potentially ugly blocks here, so I think we go for it. Try to knock them out in one swing. Okay, so puncturing blow happens, so that's annoying, but I think my whole team still gets pumped, so that didn't do as much as I think they're hoping it will. Yeah, no, my whole team still got pumped. So you have 1 card left in your hand. What is it? Oh, it's an instant. How about that? Yes. No. No, do not have it do 4 damage to me. So they draw 3 cards, but I don't think 3 cards are going to help them. They have 1 mana open, and we have Bounty of Might. So that should seal the deal here for us. I never did get a trophy with each guild. This will be my 2nd with Golgari. I've gotten 2 with Golgari, 2 with Boros, and 1 with... Izzet. I never got one with Dimir, and I never got one with Selesnya. The not getting one with Selesnya isn't so surprising. Not getting one with Dimir kind of is, because, yeah, it's strong. Okay, so they block like this. Now what happens? Well, I need to make sure there's a hold there. So 2, 4, 6, 10, 15 gets through. So yeah, Bounty of Might will finish the job here. So we'll do it here, here, and big ol' spider. Whew. All right, there's the 5th trophy. Pretty decent. This format treated me fairly well. You know, probably a 63% win percentage. And my goal is usually 5 trophies, 60% plus, and we got both, so that works for me. So yeah, next week I'll be doing Ultimate Masters, and probably for the next, I guess, 3 weeks or so, that's what we'll be doing. And then before you know it, Ravnica Allegiance Limited Review Week will be here, and that's usually like the 1 week where I don't post draft videos because I'm posting a million other videos about the limited format. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in my next draft video.